When you're looking for a backup power solution, the biggest question isn't how many watts it can claim on paper, but whether it will actually sit on your countertop or in your RV and work when you need it most without turning your budget into a black hole. That's the hesitation most buyers feel. A portable generator that promises 300 Wh sounds great, but will the charging system be fast enough? Will the outlets match the devices you actually run? And will it hold enough juice for a night of power outages or a weekend off-grid? The risk of spending a few $100s on a unit that never makes it out of the box or that takes forever to recharge is real, and that's why I spent some time digging through the spec sheet, cross-checking the few reviews that do exist, and mapping out how the BLUETTI solar generator Elite 300 would fit into everyday life. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Elite 300 is marketed as a compact 3 kWh power station, but its actual usable capacity is 301 Wh. That's enough to run a small TV, a laptop, a few lights, or a mini fridge for a limited stretch, but don't expect to keep a full-size refrigerator humming for days. What makes the unit stand out is the Charger One accessory that claims to be 6 times faster than a regular car charger. In practice, that translates to roughly 2 hours to top the battery from 0 to full when plugged into a standard 120V outlet, which is a noticeable improvement over the 10+ hours you'd see on many competing units. If you're the type who lives in an area with frequent short outages, that quick turnaround can be the difference between a fleeting flash of light and a comfortable evening with the lights on. Now, who should consider buying the Elite 300? If you're a weekend camper or a van life enthusiast who needs a reliable source to power a laptop, phone chargers, a small LED light panel, and perhaps a portable CPAP machine, this unit fits nicely. The dedicated TT30 outlet matches the standard RV power hookup for many newer campers, and the 12V/30A DC port can handle a small fridge or a 12V pump without needing any adapters. For homeowners, it makes a decent emergency backup for a few essential circuits. Think a modem, a couple of lights, and a phone charger so you stay connected while the grid is down. The relatively small footprint means you can store it in a garage shelf or a closet and pull it out when the weather turns. On the flip side, if your primary need is whole house backup, the Elite 300 will feel underpowered. It won't run a central AC unit, a large water heater, or multiple hydro appliances simultaneously. Likewise, anyone who expects a set-it-and-forget-it solar array for a full off-grid lifestyle should look at larger BLUETTI models or even a true inverter generator. The unit's 560W charger is robust, but the 301 Wh battery caps the total usable energy, and that's the biggest limitation you'll hit once the charge is depleted. A practical strength that often gets lost in marketing copy is the ease of switching between power sources. The Elite 300 can be charged via AC wall outlet, a car's 12V socket, or a solar panel, and the Charger One lets you toggle between them without unplugging anything. In real-world terms, imagine you're on a weekend road trip. You start the day charging the unit from the car while you drive. Then once you've arrived at the campsite you flip to solar panels and the unit continues topping up without any manual replugging. That fluidity saves you time and reduces wear on plugs. The hidden trade-off appears when you start using the TT30 outlet for higher draw devices. While the port can handle up to 300 W, the battery's 301 Wh rating means you only get about an hour of runtime if you're pulling close to that limit. Users have reported that the power gauge can be a bit optimistic, showing more charge left than is actually available under a steady 200 W load. That's not a defect, just a reality of lithium-ion chemistry. You get a burst of power, then the voltage droops quicker than a larger battery would. The key is to manage expectations. Use the Elite for essential low-draw devices, and you'll get the advertised runtime. Push it beyond that, and you'll find yourself tapping the outlet for a quick top-up sooner than you'd like. Another practical consideration is the weight and portability. At roughly 7 kilograms, 15 pounds, it's light enough to carry into a tent or lift onto a rooftop for solar charging, yet heavy enough that you won't be tossing it around like a handheld power bank. The built-in handle is sturdy, but you'll still need a decent bag or a small cart if you plan on moving it frequently. For a single-family home with a modest emergency kit, that weight is a net positive. You get a solid battery without the need for a heavy-duty generator that you'd have to store outdoors. If you're a tech-savvy